The anime starts with a YouTuber named Paco, who begins a live stream. He's celebrating reaching 700,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. This is a huge opportunity for him, and he wants to share it with his followers. For this special occasion, a new classmate, Rumi, also joins the live stream. Rumi is a beauty tips YouTuber who shares makeup tips and tricks, and today she's going to show a makeup demo. For this, they've invited a model, and that model is our main character, Hoban. Hoban is extremely upset with this whole situation. He neither likes getting his makeup done, nor enduring this all in front of the camera. He absolutely hates these YouTubers. He thinks to himself, these people are making money by humiliating me, and they don't even give me a single rupee. At least I should get a share of the earnings. Paco doesn't like Hoban's attitude. Annoyed, he reminds Hoban that he's there to entertain the audience, not to complain. Paco interjects with something along those lines. Then Paco tells his subscribers that he's going to give away a new PC. He shouts, announcing that a lucky subscriber will get a brand new PC. But Hoban knows it's all a lie. The stream is about to end. Paco says goodbye to the viewers, and Hoban reluctantly puts on a fake smile so that everything looks fine on camera. After the stream, Hoban has a tough time removing all the makeup. He's tired and irritated. Paco is actually a troublemaker, but his YouTube channel is huge. With 700,000 subscribers, he's earning fame and money. Paco's grades are very bad, but he knows well how to make money. On the other hand, Rumi is a new YouTuber, but she's still making good money just based on her beauty. When Hoban compares himself to these two, he feels very disappointed and annoyed. He returns to his class, but there he confronts a boy named Sniper. Sniper is angry with him because Hoban didn't smile during the live stream. Enraged, Sniper beats Hoban badly because, according to him, Hoban ruined the entire live broadcast. Sniper is actually Paco's cameraman and is considered part of the mischievous, thug-like group in school. Hoban musters the courage for a moment to talk back to Sniper, but as soon as he does, everyone else starts laughing at him and making fun of him. Paco thinks Hoban is acting without reason, and Sniper acts as if he wet his pants out of fear. Hoban thinks that Sniper had offered to become Paco's cameraman himself so that he could also take advantage of Paco's power and fame. He finds this act very weak and pathetic. Meanwhile, Rumi is shocked when she finds out she's just made $200 from the live stream they did. Hoban is stunned to hear this. He thinks, we didn't even do anything special and still got so much money. They had only streamed for a short while during the lunch break, yet Rumi had earned $200. This was all thanks to Paco, and Rumi promises him that she'll repay this favor someday. Seeing all this, an idea comes to Hoban's mind. Why don't I start my own YouTube channel? He's very surprised when Sniper BT says the exact same thing at that moment. Sniper also now wants to become a YouTuber himself. He asks Paco how to earn money from a channel. Paco explains that since they are minors, they can't earn money directly in their own names. They'll need their parents' bank accounts. But Sniper mentions a big problem. I've already been caught stealing my parents' money, so they'll never let me use their account now. Sniper remembers that Hoban's mother is sick and hospitalized, so he taunts, you have your mom's account, right? Just use that. Everyone starts laughing at this. It's clear to everyone how rudely Sniper is talking, but Hoban quietly endures it all. He feels like he should respond with his fists now, but unfortunately, Hoban can't do that. He still doesn't have the courage. He just apologizes to his mother in his mind. Sorry, Mom, I couldn't protect your honor.
Stable. After this, Hoban goes to the hospital to meet his mother. His mother tries to smile and says, I can go home whenever I want. She pretends everything is okay, but Hoban knows she's lying. He knows that if his mother leaves the hospital, her condition could worsen. She sees the marks on his face and asks, did you get into a fight? But Hoban lies. No, Mom, I would never do that. I don't want to cause you any worry. In reality, Hoban knows that he himself has started lying now. He hides everything so his mother doesn't get upset. After this, Hoban deposits $200 at the hospital to pay for his mother's treatment. Hoban thinks that this $200 is equal to his entire week's earnings. He works a part-time job at McDonald's. Even if he works every day after school, he can only earn $30. On the other hand, his new classmates are making $200 in just one lunch break. Thinking about all this, Hoban's anger erupts. He asks himself, is there really something wrong with society? Why do hard-working people get left behind? In that moment of despair, a ray of hope appears when his colleague, Bomi, smiles and says hello to him. Hoban tells Bomi where the beef patties are kept, and the other staff members offer to get them. Bomi is the star of that restaurant, a kind of idol. Seeing her, Hoban's mood suddenly gets better. Just then, Paco suddenly appears, and he's live streaming. Hoban immediately hides. Paco announces that he's here to meet the goddess of McDonald's, Bomi, who is going viral on social media these days. Hoban is surprised that Paco has come here to meet Bomi. Paco says he's set a challenge for Bomi. If you can't make a burger in 30 seconds, you'll have to give me your phone number. Hearing this, Hoban is shocked. He understands everything. This isn't a game, but an excuse to get Bomi's number. He knows that the burger they're talking about has more than 10 ingredients, and it's impossible to make it in 30 seconds. Paco pretends that he's taken on this challenge reluctantly because his viewers pressured him. But Hoban has figured out that it's all an act. The other staff members also say, none of us have Bomi's number. Everyone is lost in thought. Can these new YouTubers really do anything? Then everyone is surprised when Hoban comes forward and says the burger is already made. He even added an extra patty for free. Then he tells Paco, you can leave now. You're disturbing our customers. The whole atmosphere changes. Hoban says to himself in a low voice, I'm the king of McDonald's. The other workers praise his bravery and smartness, but Hoban knows that this happiness won't last long. He's sure to be beaten up at school for this act. His inner voice tells him, no one will accept me for who I am anyway. But in the midst of all this, Hoban manages to catch Bomi's attention. At night, he returns home and makes ramen, and that's when we find out how weak and submissive Hoban still is, because he allowed Sniper to live stream from his house. Hoban is very disappointed in himself. He regrets letting Sniper use his mother's bank account. He apologizes to his mother in his mind. At that moment, Hoban hears that someone will give Sniper $200 because he got 30 kills in a game. Hearing this, a fire of anger ignites within Hoban. Such easy money and I'm sweating my blood here? He gets so irritated that he spits in the ramen he made for Sniper. Hoban wonders if he should ask Sniper for a share of his earnings. Lost in his thought, Hoban accidentally trips on an extension cord, causing Sniper's live stream to shut down, and the hot ramen falls directly on Sniper. Hoban apologizes, saying it was just an accident. But Sniper goes crazy with anger. You've caused a $200 loss. Hoban again says it was an accident, not intentional. But Sniper starts cursing him and brutally beats Hoban. As Hoban gets beaten in his own house, he realizes how incredibly humiliating and painful this is. While getting hit, Sniper says a vile thing. Your mom has cancer, and it's your fault.
Stable. This is the last straw for Hoban. Full of rage, for the first time, he throws a powerful punch at Sniper's face. For the first time, Hoban has punched someone. A fierce fight breaks out between the two. Hoban feels that fighting isn't as bad as he thought it was. Both are attacking each other without any restraint. But they don't realize that the camera is still on and the live stream is continuing. Somewhere else, a girl from their school is watching the entire fight live. When the fight ends, Hoban gets an adrenaline rush, and now he starts feeling the pain of his wounds. But this pain isn't the only problem. Now he starts thinking that it will cost money to fix the damage to the house. Hoban gets angry that everything in his life is tied to money. He thinks, I wish I could run away from all this. Exhausted, he just tries to forget everything in his sleep. He now realizes how miserable and complicated his life is. Yet, before sleeping, he thinks about the electricity bill that will also come, so he turns off the power strip nearby. The next morning, Sniper calls. He's yelling angrily and says to delete that video immediately. Hoban doesn't understand what Sniper's talking about. Then Sniper explains that he has to delete yesterday's YouTube live stream. Hoban says in surprise, but the stream stopped when I tripped on the cable. But then Hoban remembers that the cable he had accidentally pulled was just for the monitor. The computer was still on. Sniper gets panicked and starts crying. He says that their entire fight went live on YouTube. The monitor screen went black, but the camera was on and the stream continued. And what's more, the entire stream turned into a video. Hoban says in a panic, "I didn't upload anything." Sniper explains that if a PC shuts down in the middle of a live stream, YouTube automatically saves the entire video. Sniper himself can't delete the video because it's on Hoban's mom's account. Sniper asks Hoban for the password, but Hoban is so panicked that he can't say anything. Hoban quickly checks everything and has to face the truth. Oh no, it's all true. The video now has more than 10,000 comments. It has gone viral not only on YouTube, but also on other social media platforms. The whole world has now seen that video. Hoban starts feeling that this is terrible. Before, he was only made fun of at school. Now the whole world will make fun of him. He is about to delete the video to prevent the matter from getting worse. But then he notices some comments. This video will make money. With so many views, thousands of dollars will be earned. YouTube pays a little more than half a cent per view, so Hoban quickly does the calculation, and when he sees the result, he is stunned. 10 million views means about $6,000. The next day at school, all the students are laughing at the fight video. As soon as Sniper arrives at school, he knows at a glance that everyone has seen the video. He explodes with anger. "I worked so hard to build my popularity by following Paco, and now one video has ruined everything." The whole school is now making fun of him. Sniper is not ready to give up. He thinks that if he beats up a weak boy, he might regain his fear in school. He slaps a confident-looking boy. But this time, it all backfires. The boy starts beating Sniper instead. Sniper shouts in a panic, "Paco, help me!" But Paco pays no attention. He doesn't care. Up until now, Sniper had tried to put everyone down and get ahead in life. But now the whole world sees him as a clown. His reputation is completely ruined. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Hoban is handed an $800 medical bill. He's shocked at first, but then smiles and pays the entire bill. "This is not a big deal for me now." A new confidence shines on his face. One video has changed his life. Hoban is now more than just a scared, timid boy. Hoban now knows that he's going to get more than $6,000 from the video. Just then, Sniper comes and slaps him directly on the face. Sniper says angrily, "I've become a laughingstock at school and I want my share from you." Hoban flatly refuses, so another fight breaks out between the two. Hoban has fought with Sniper before, so he's not afraid anymore. After the fight, Hoban tries to make Sniper feel better, but still refuses to give him money. Just then, Sniper reveals that he had recorded their fight. He had planned all this and secretly showcased his fantastic camera angle skills. Hoban gets scared that Sniper is going to upload the video himself. But Sniper tells him that no one will watch the same old content. People will say the video was staged and then curse them for it. Sniper didn't come to fight. He just came to talk to Hoban. "Why don't you join me? I can make you even more money." Hoban is surprised and thinks, "Can I really make the kind of money these people are making?" This moment proves to be a huge turning point for Hoban. Now he thinks about whether he should change his path.
Stable. Sniper tells him that he used to be Paco's producer, so he can do the same for Hoban. Sniper knows that Hoban hasn't received a lot of money from the video and explains that to get monetization on YouTube, he will have to do a lot of complex tasks like screening and so on. But all these things become very difficult for Hoban to understand. Sniper corners him with questions, telling him who will make the video and who will edit it. Sniper also tells him that Paco became big only because of his planning and camera work. Sniper tells Hoban that he can become his producer and that Hoban just has to show up. He tells Hoban, "Trust me, we can make money together." Hoban thinks about what if they can really make money. But Sniper is actually a big schemer and strategist. He knows that Hoban is now in his hands. He just wants to make Hoban a part of his plan to benefit himself and strengthen his position in school again. Hoban wants to know how the money will be divided, so Sniper explains that he will manage everything. He says,
We're friends now. I'll take 90% and you'll get 10%. Both get ready to shake hands. But Sniper thinks that Hoban will do all the hard work and he will climb up easily. But Hoban is not that stupid. He refuses Sniper's offer and reminds him that they are not friends. Sniper understands that without Hoban, his plan is nothing, so he offers a 50-50% deal. But Hoban still refuses, saying that he'd rather flip burgers. Sniper, in a panic, then offers to take 10% and says Hoban can keep the other 90%. Hoban now accepts the deal and eagerly waits for Sniper's new content idea. Sniper gets angry that Hoban isn't as stupid as he thought, but he's still happy that the deal is done. Then suddenly, Sniper reveals a shocking thing. His new content will be about countering real-time bullies. At this point, Hoban gets ready to face new challenges. At school, Paco calls Hoban and Spencer onto his live stream, but Hoban clearly understands that Paco just wants to grab popularity from their viral fight video. Paco forces them to greet his viewers as he had planned. He introduces Hoban and Spencer as the bullied boys, but in reality, our boys have their own secret plan. Spencer wants Hoban to make the first move, but Hoban is not ready yet. Just then, Paco promises to give away a free PC to his subscribers. But Hoban tells everyone that Paco is lying. His giveaway is a scam, and he's just pretending to be nice on camera. Hoban tells everyone on the live stream that Paco is actually a terrible person and that the injuries he has are given by Paco. Hoban also says that he will expose all of Paco's bad deeds on his channel. He knows that he will have to pay a heavy price for this. But anyway, he's beaten up every day in school, so now at least he'll get money. Meanwhile, the mysterious girl thinks that nothing new is happening, but her interest grows when people notice that Hoban looks a little different now. Spencer thinks that their plan is working perfectly. Paco's viewers are now coming to his channel. Paco also looks very upset about being exposed. But then everything goes wrong because Paco says that his live stream was cut off because his phone battery died. This means nothing was recorded. But he doesn't know that Spencer is live streaming this entire beating, and 33,000 people are watching it. They are getting a lot of new subscribers. Spencer thinks that they are not so stupid as to challenge Paco on his own live stream. Spencer calls Hoban the star of the show, because their real plan was for Hoban to get beaten up as usual and for them to earn a lot of views and money from it. But then Hoban starts thinking, can I really earn money just by getting beaten up? Now Hoban is determined that they have to earn big money, and for that, their videos will have to go viral in an explosive way. At that moment, Hoban starts to suspect, do people really just want to see a kid getting beaten up? He realizes that people actually want to see a weak kid stand up against his bully. Now there's a little courage in Hoban, but this angers Paco. Spencer thinks that if Hoban had just quietly gotten beaten up, this would have ended quickly, and now he wonders where Hoban suddenly got this courage from. Hoban realizes the truth when he sees how much bigger and stronger Paco is than he. They are both in high school, but Paco has heavy muscles, while Hoban is like a dry stick in comparison. Hoban thinks about apologizing for a moment, but then Paco curses him and even says that his mom's cancer is his fault. Hearing this, Hoban is filled with anger. He can't tolerate anyone saying something like that about his mother. Everyone is surprised when Hoban fights back, but still, people in the chat laugh at his condition because Hoban can't move Paco an inch. Paco makes his condition even worse. He says that he will get Hoban a bed next to his mother in the hospital, and then he slams Hoban to the ground. Everyone starts making fun of Hoban again, and Hoban understands that weight is a very big deal in a fight. His fight with Spencer was just child's play. The real fight is happening now. Hoban thinks that it's all over now, but Paco gets ready to hit him again.
Stable. At that moment, a boy in the class who was always sleeping Paco tells him to be a little quiet. Paco tells him, if you're sleepy, go to sleep. But as soon as that boy glares at him, Paco gets scared.
The boy's name is Kim, and he's a rising star in the MMA world. Paco backs away, and Hoban is surprised. With just a few words, Kim has silenced the entire class. Hoban understands that Kim is a man from a world that is completely unknown to him, a world he could only dream of. Kim goes back to sleep, and Paco leaves the class. Spencer thinks that Hoban did something cool today. Even though it looks like Hoban lost the fight, he got some new fans who are cheering him on in the comments. On the other hand, Paco reaches his house that night and breathes a sigh of relief. He thinks it was a good thing his phone switched off in time and Hoban couldn't expose him. But then he gets a shock. He gets a lot of messages that say his real face has been revealed to everyone. Later, it's revealed that Hoban is very happy. Even though Paco beat him physically, Hoban hurt him where it hurts the most, his image. Hoban's beating video went completely viral all over the internet. Paco later apologized in his stream, but he made a huge mistake. He thought the stream was off and said, "My stupid viewers will believe anything I say." This is where his downfall began. People started digging up and exposing his fake and scripted videos. The situation got so bad that someone even created a website that showed Paco's subscribers decreasing live. Now Paco has become a thing of the past, but Hoban has taken his place. One day, Spencer announces that from now on, their main content will be fights. But now another problem arises. YouTube pays for ads, not views, and for that, a video must be at least 3 minutes long. But Hoban can't last in a fight for more than 1 minute. If Hoban can't fight for 3 minutes, his YouTube career will end right there. That night, Hoban searches on the internet how to fight well. Someone replied, with years of training. But Hoban doesn't have that many years. Hoban searches for different martial arts on the internet, but each one seems very difficult. Just then, he accidentally types how to fight with the wrong spelling. But surprisingly, he finds a YouTube channel with the same name. That channel has no subscribers, but Hoban is shocked that there are a lot of videos already uploaded on it. Hoban plays a video, and a man wearing a strange bird-like mask appears who calls himself Samdak. Samdak says that the first step to winning a fight is to never get too agitated. If a fighter can't control his anger, he's not throwing punches, but his emotions. Conversely, if someone can agitate their opponent, they get an advantage in the fight. Samdak also teaches a special technique where a fighter can endure a beating without getting hurt. Hoban is surprised to hear this. He watches the videos, but everything seems too easy, so he thinks it's all a lie just to get views, and then he goes to sleep. The next day, Hoban quits his McDonald's job. He thinks that working there won't cover his mother's medical expenses, and he needs to make money fast. His co-workers are talking that the boy who exposed Paco is quitting his job, and Bomi overhears all this. Hoban's boss jokingly says that he will also start his own channel to become famous like Hoban, but Hoban gives him such a scary look that he goes silent. Then Bomi comes there and surprises everyone by thanking Hoban for showing the world Paco's real face, and then she asks for his phone number in front of everyone, which leaves everyone with their eyes wide open. Now, since Bomi and Hoban won't be working together, she wants them to stay in touch. Hoban immediately uses her number and starts messaging her in class, although he also has a doubt in his mind that she might be scamming him. He jokingly says, "Okay, take all my money." But Bomi thinks Hoban is just joking and having fun.
Stable. At that moment, Spencer comes and tells him that reaching 100,000 subscribers in just 2 videos is a very rare thing. Even big celebrities can't do it. But Spencer actually wants to know if Hoban has found a way to make his fight last for 3 minutes. Hoban says no, he hasn't found a solution yet. Spencer reminds him that he's famous right now, and he shouldn't let this opportunity slip away. But Hoban thinks that being famous is not always good. Then he feels his thought is wrong because Rumi comes there and asks him to join a live stream. Hoban happily agrees and says being famous is fun. The other boys are a little skeptical, but Rumi explains that her viewers are constantly demanding to see Hoban. Rumi convinces Hoban to do a live stream, but Hoban looks at his friend Spencer because he's the team strategist. But Spencer's own mind is also a little shaken. He just says that Rumi should bring a friend so they can go on a double date. Then the atmosphere becomes tense because Paco arrives there in a rage. He's angry at Hoban because Hoban ruined his entire YouTube channel.
At that moment, Hoban remembers Samdok's video which said that the easiest enemy is the one who is angry. Paco is completely enraged, so Hoban gets ready for the next step, where he will be hit but not get hurt. But Paco's punch stops because Spencer is recording everything with a camera. Spencer threatens that if Paco does anything, he will upload the video. Paco says angrily that he will definitely take revenge and leaves from there. Rumi is afraid that she might also become a part of this drama, but Paco just leaves. Spencer relaxes and says, "Now say thank you." But Hoban is surprised that everything happened exactly as Samdok's video said it would. Hoban thinks about how difficult it is to have fighting as the channel's theme. Fighting with thugs every time is not possible. But instead of thinking about a solution, Hoban just gets busy messaging Bomi. He sees how good he feels chatting with Bomi. But then Bomi writes that hearing someone's voice is better than messaging. Hoban foolishly thinks that maybe she doesn't want to talk to him anymore, when in reality she wanted to talk to him on the phone. Hoban gets ready to call right away, but then some scary-looking people come and say that they are his big fans. Hoban is surprised that his fame has become like this. Now dangerous people also want to talk to him. But the matter quickly becomes clear. These people have come to steal his phone, not for money. One of them asks, "How much have you earned from the video, huh?" And Hoban understands what the real motive is. Just then, Spencer comes, but he is knocked down in one blow. Hoban is disappointed to see that Spencer has no fighting skills. The thug snatches Hoban's phone and says, "Keep making new tube videos. I'll come back to rob you again." Hoban's face falls because Bomi's number was on that phone. He says, "Take Spencer's phone instead of mine, man." Hoban says that they should call the police, but Spencer calls him crazy because he has a better idea. Spencer reveals that he was live streaming the entire robbery incident. Now Hoban's fans are cheering him on, and Spencer says that those thugs are already famous in this area. That's why counterattacking them would be a goldmine for views. Hoban thinks about whether people want to see him get beaten up again, but he abandons that thought and says, "Okay, let's start the live stream now." Hoban meets those two robbers in a karaoke room. Hoban remembers Samdok's video where he taught how to identify the dominant strong hand of the opponent. This guy is right-handed because he's holding the mic with that hand. Samdok taught that if the opponent is right-handed, one should stand on his left side so that it becomes easy for him to punch. Hoban thinks that if he's going to get punched anyway, why not try Samdok's technique? Samdok said that if a person can't properly dodge a punch, he can react in another way. Hoban could clearly see the punch coming from the right hand, so he surprises everyone when he uses the technique of taking a punch without getting hurt. The surprising thing is that Hoban doesn't get hurt.
Stable Samdok explains that a punch is most powerful only when it fully reaches its target. This means that if a person moves before that punch, they won't get much hurt. Samdok had also taught how to do a headbutt. Pulling his hoodie in, Hoban is surprised that he didn't get hurt, but he doesn't understand what to do next. The thug calls him a masochist and attacks again, but Hoban feels that he reacted a little slow. Fortunately, Samdok had also given advice for this moment. It is very difficult for normal people to react correctly to every punch, but it is equally difficult to land every punch correctly. The thug's punch surprisingly misses because Samdok taught that it is very difficult for normal people to hit a constantly moving person. This boxing technique is called weaving. As long as Hoban keeps trying constantly and keeps trying to hit his opponent's punches with his head in a failed attempt, his opponent will feel like he's a boxer with excellent weaving skills. Samdok had also taught that if someone concentrates their attention only on the opponent's fist, their fear of that punch will also disappear. And when the opponent gets angry, he will miss even more punches. Besides, even if a punch lands, Hoban won't feel any pain because he has learned the technique of taking a punch without getting hurt. Samdok had also proudly said in his video that after reaching this stage, Hoban will no longer be afraid of fighting, and that is what is happening. Now more confident than before, Hoban tells that thug to give his phone back so he can reply to Bomi. The thug doesn't know anything about Bomi, so he attacks again, but Hoban just keeps using Samdok's techniques. He repeatedly hits the opponent's punches with his head, but to the viewers, it looks as if he's letting himself get punched. The thug is surprised why Hoban is not dodging the punches. Hoban's live stream chat goes crazy. Everyone is cheering for him. Hoban's confidence is growing, but he regrets that he wishes he had watched more of Samdok's videos. He had only seen the video about taking a punch without getting hurt. He has no other techniques now. Spencer is also watching carefully, but he thinks that the situation is a little bad. This fight is going very slowly. Both fighters are just tiring each other out, and the audience is getting bored. Spencer wanted long fights, but people get bored if they are too long. He thinks about stopping the fight, but then he sees a message from a viewer. The viewer's name is Ding. He was the one who first recognized Kim as an MMA star, and it seems he has good knowledge of martial arts. Ding's comment now says that Hoban will win this fight. Everyone else in the chat is saying that Hoban is just getting beaten, but Ding calls everyone amateurs. Ding explains that the thug hasn't realized yet because of the adrenaline rush in his body, but his fists are in a lot of trouble now. The people in the chat go crazy when they see that something is indeed wrong, and the thug doesn't understand what's happening to his fists. Ding explains that punching a punching bag for too long causes the fist to swell, but this thug, in his excitement, kept hitting Hoban's rock-hard forehead again and again. Now that his adrenaline is wearing off, he feels a strong pain. Just as Ding had said earlier, now he can't fight, and this fight ends here. Spencer is surprised that Hoban actually won, although Hoban's face is in a terrible state, so Spencer is afraid that his hospital bills might be more than the video's earnings, but still, he thinks, well, it's an investment. They got a lot of followers from this fight. On the other hand, Hoban is only lost in the thought of whether Bomi will reply to him or not. The live stream ends, and Hoban says that the fight video got more than 1 million views in a week. His channel's name is now Viral Hit, and it has a total of 4 videos with a total of 25 million views. Besides this, they get their first payment of about $13,000, although they only got half a cent per view, which is very little. But Spencer explains that they first had to get approved by YouTube, and then it took time to turn on ads on the video. Considering it was the first payment, it was quite good, and Hoban gets even more motivated now. He feels that their videos should be even more sensational and violent, but Spencer warns him that they've been lucky so far that they haven't gotten a yellow mark. A yellow mark means the video has been demonetized.